Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and a brand new video on Marvel Contest of Champions. This is my predictions video for 2018 with regards to characters that potentially will be coming into the game Marvel Contest of Champions. In the video we're gonna kind of draw inspiration from things that are happening in 2018, like TV show release dates, from movies right the way through to new comic books, graphic novels, and even previous Marvel Contest of Champions publications. And this video won't be my hopes for next year with regards to champions. I want to work that with you guys and invite everybody in the comment section to put the champion they hope for, as I may not cover the champion that they particularly like, but this is just based on things that are happening next year against what we could potentially see. Kabam have said as well that in the 2018 release we're going to see a real curveball champion. Now, my first prediction was Galactus for this, as I thought that was pretty darn curveball and could pave the way with something with regards to the way that they work the Infinity Wars kind of arc and what they're going to do in-game, as opposed to obviously what we know is going to happen in the film, as well as what we know in the comic books. But that has changed to something really unique that's going to be released next year that's got me incredibly excited, as well as a few people that follow the comic books that are being released next year. And I'll keep you in suspense until the end of the video to reveal who I think this potential champion could be. And he's a pretty big beast, or should I say a recently genetically altered beast. Yeah, but it's not beast, okay? Let's just get out of the way. Even though I said beast, it's not beast. Anyway, let's get into the video. Right, to start with, let's talk about what we know. And what we definitely know is Sentry and Void are gonna be entered into Marvel Contest of Champions. This is more than likely gonna be in January of 2018, as in December 2017 we're going to see Taskmaster and MODOK. So it's fairly likely that the next two characters that have been data mined information that has come from the game will be the next champions release. So January 2018, look out for Void and Sentry. So as we know, there's been a release of a Contest of Champions comic book series, which ran for 2 series back a couple of years ago. In this we saw the release of Guillotine into this comic book series, a new character, but that left the opportunity for lots of other different characters to then come through. This means we could see the likes of White Fox, Outlaw, Ares, Styx, Madam Hydra, Night Thrasher, and even Iron Spider. And I know what you're thinking, yeah, there's a lot of Spider-Mans in Marvel Contest of Champions already. Do we need another? There are a few iffy inclusions, and that's Moonbite, Devil, Hydrasaur, and Penance. I don't think we're going to see them. It would be quite cool to see Penance, really. That would be quite funny, but at the same time, I doubt they're going to be going in. And over the next year, you're probably going to see 1 or 2 of the champions mentioned actually get put in. Sentry was one of them, and it's kind of cool to see him being put in, so more than likely you're going to see 1 or 2 of these champions. Guillotine actually works in kind of conjunction with this, in that she will probably get an expanded universe, as we've seen with Morningstar being added into the game, as well as a kind of expanding of villains. You may even see an allied kind of champion that's going to be assisting her. It could even see an expansion of the comic book series Contest of Champions with something in game with Guillotine in the future, but who really knows. She's already gone and done stuff with regards to a publication out of the realms of stuff with Kabam, so that's pretty cool. So chances are she'll probably make a return, maybe even in a big way. Okay, so let's take you on a trip in 2018 of the various months and things being released, whether or not it's being comic books, whether or not it's being films. Let's have a look and see what we potentially could see with regards to the game. Even though I personally would like to see something with Man-Thing being put into the game, I don't think it's going to happen, because we're definitely going to get Sentry and Void, 2 champions that are good additions. Sentry is meant to be massively powerful. It's going to be odd to scale him down with regards to intense power. The next thing is Void. Not too sure with regards to Void, but Void and Sentry have both had run-ins with each other in the past and mean for a very good mix-up with regards to battling in Marvel Contest of Champions. In February 2018, we see the release of Black Panther the film. We should see Shuri as a tech, as in Black Panther's sister. Potentially the next 2 champions are iffy which one actually gets the placement. Ulysses Claw could be another tech that would be a good addition to the kind of Black Panther story as well. I can see him being a kind of a good addition. However, though, people have speculated that it instead will be Killmonger, and it won't be a case that he will retain any kind of natural look. Instead, he will be having that golden Black Panther suit. The other publications that are released that month are Excalibur, the Epic Collection, and New Mutants. Now, New Mutants has a film later on in the year, and we'll cover that when we get to the month. So it's very hard to kind of pinpoint who will get that second placement. Will it be a little bit left field? what will it actually be? My hope is Shuri and Ulysses Claw. March 2018 sees the release potentially of Jessica Jones Season 2. So this has been teased with regards to being released. It's very uncertain whether or not it's going to be out in March or it's going to be more of a kind of a late spring, which would be cool to see her being put into the game finally, because obviously she is a champion in the game. It's just with regards to her release, Kabam have really kind of waited for that, for the point that she's actually been released into the game. And I can't think any better reason to release her than with Season 2 of Jessica Jones. Now this is the thing that I'm most excited for in March, Weapon H. Hulk and Wolverine cross genetics. This was featured this year in 2017 in Total Awesome Hulk issue 22. And we're waiting for a full release of this because it was so hyped, it was so popular. It's actually going to get a full run. And this is the thing that is going to be incredibly scary but incredibly amazing. If they could ever do a Weapon H champion, a Hulk that has adamantium claws, bleeds and regens, my god, that would be such an intense and amazing champion. I better be going for that super featured if they enter that into the game. And Kabam, you've got to put this champion into the game. This idea is so unique and is just so popular at the moment. You got to do it. April 2018 sees the release of the New Mutants film. This features the characters Wolfsbane, Cannonball, Sunspot and Mirage. I would personally like to see Sunspot from there, and it doesn't really matter what other character that could be potentially released with that, if Kabam were thinking about introducing that into the game. A New Mutant would be quite nice, as I think we'll go for a bit of a dry spot with regards to mutants being released into the game. May 2018 sees the release of Infinity Wars. This is going to be the big one. This is going to have probably an amazing event with it with regards to Marvel Contest of Champions. I think they'll probably start working on that straight away. But it just depends on what they're going to add in that's going to be relevant to this. Will there be more of a push for certain champions? Will they put something in line with events in Infinity Wars? So are we going to see the release of characters like Nova? Will we see a kind of a nomad version of Captain America? There's a lot of different options there, as well as potentially, you know, maybe even a new Iron Man suit that's a bit more kind of technically advanced, or maybe has any kind of like cosmic based powers to it. There's a lot of options with regards to this. Maybe even mega characters like Galactus, something scaled down particularly in order to kind of get him under control. Maybe the Collector and the Grandmaster have done something to him to make him a bit more kind of normal, rather than making him all powerful, similar to the way that they kind of control Dormammu, so to speak. The next thing is that maybe they could introduce an Elders class, and that's something we'll be seeing an Elder that could then meet against the big might that is Thanos with regards to control over the Infinity Gauntlet. A lot of things, a lot of opportunities with this, and there's a whole host of different champion ideas with regards to who could actually be included. That's going to be all powerful, but at the same time, you know, be something that the fan base is going to go, yes, we wanted this guy. June 2018 sees the release of Deadpool 2, and we could potentially see Domino, a Cable variant, maybe even Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Black Tom Cassidy, who's actually meant to be in the film. There's a lot of things that we could potentially see. I understand there is always rights issues with regards to Fox as well as Marvel and who owns the rights for certain things. But you can put certain designs or kind of classic designs of certain characters in there. It depends what rights there are to it. So it would be quite cool to see something completely original from this kind of like Deadpool film kind of franchise. But it just depends on what Kabam have an idea to actually put in. Hopefully it's something fun though and interesting. Also, not forgetting Luke Cage Season 2. So this is something that I've been really hoping for, is that Misty Knight, you know, I'm talking robotic arm. There's a bit of a kind of change in the story that in the actual series we see that it's Rand that to give her the arm, the robotic arm. So I'll be quite interested to see from a TV perspective like what it actually kind of looks at, how she's able to kind of maneuver it. Is it a lot better? But at the same time, like how technically advanced is it? Is it like a prototype arm? And obviously we're going to see something a bit more kind of golden, so to speak, that kicks ass. Because theoretically now, she kicks a lot of ass. So with regards to champions being released, I would really like to see Domino, Black Tom Cassidy or Misty Knight being put into the game. But obviously it just depends on what Kabam are actually deciding with regards to how they're releasing champions this year. July 2018 sees the release of Ant-Man and Wasp. So this is going to be incredibly cool. And we're more than likely going to see Wasp. And she's more than likely going to be Science. So I hope that they do something with that. and release that champion into the game. If not, I suspect they'll have something else up their sleeve, but it would be cool to have Wasp. At least we can have a bit of kind of right the wrongs with regards to Ant-Man having Wasp as a great champion. And as well, the fact that we are really lacking in the science line, this will be a good addition to the game. Things go a little bit quiet with regards to August and September 2018. It's only in October 2018 that we're potentially going to see something really exciting. Venom is going to be a film that's going to be released. Cannot wait for it. Tom Hardy is going to be amazing, and it looks like he's going to bring the Agent Venom side of things to it, so it would be nice to see a new champion in kind of correspondence with that film that they release, or doing a special event. But mainly, if they could look to a new champion, that'd be great. As well, that it's Halloween, and could we see something with regards to Guillotine related, like we did last year or this year with Morningstar? That would be cool. So hopefully they can do something there. November 2018 sees the release of Daredevil Season 3, and you know, we could even see Styx. That would be really cool to kind of have them added to the game. We've seen a lot of Daredevil-based characters. Obviously, we have Netflix Daredevil, but obviously he's not up to as many of the other Daredevilers. So it would be cool to add a different champion, and Styx could be a really good example. He's been in the Marvel Contest of Champions comic books. There's a good chance that he could actually reach to the game at some point. X-Men Dark Phoenix is set to be released on the same month, and that would be quite cool. I really would like to see a Jean Grey, like a 90s Jean Grey. It's always been the wish of mine for the last couple of years. The next thing is that the Phoenixes, there is a Dark Phoenix as a standard Phoenix. So would they ever put the Dark Phoenix into the game? It would be in keeping with what's being released to have Dark Phoenix being put into the game. But obviously it would have to differ from the standard Phoenix in order to be interesting. Otherwise it just seems like a reskin, like the same problem we had in the first year in 2015 in the game, if you were playing at that time. And finally, in December 2018, we haven't got anything with regards to releases. It looks fairly quiet. Comic books really kind of quiet down, and at the moment it does seem that we've only got information of publications up to about late spring of this year, which is a bit disappointing, so I can't give a full kind of idea of what to expect in the coming year. But mainly we've got a lot of stuff with regards to TV and film, as well as previous Marvel Contest of Champions comic books. That gives us an idea of what we could expect in the game. One thing I'd like to point out is that this year we saw the release of the Secret Empire comic book crossover event. It was a big downside and disappointment not to see Red Skull feature in this, because it was a Hydra based event. This will be a good opportunity to get this champion that has been sat dormant in the files, as well as being built into the game for this event. So kind of missed a trick there, guys. So finally, we know there's a lot going on in 2018. It would be great to see certain champions like Wasp, Dark Phoenix, Jessica Jones, Shuri, Ulysses Claw, as well as you know, Domino, maybe a reskin of Cable. That would be cool. And some other stuff that's kind of in line with releases, maybe something from the New Mutants line. Lots going on in the game, but at the same time, with regards to publications, one champion I really potentially would love is going to be Weapon H, the kind of Hulk meets Wolverine cross genetics kind of thing. That I think would be so cool, and that would be a great curveball champion. You don't get any more curveball than Wolverine crossed with Hulk. That could be insane and a game changer. So I would really hope that they could release that. You know, I thought Galactus could be that curveball champion, but Weapon H, come out and make it and put it in the game, because I'll buy it. I really would. So that has been my predictions for new champions in Marvel Contest of Champions in 2018, based on Marvel publications, TV shows and movies being released next year. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content, and leave an answer below to the question: what champion do you hope will be in the game in 2018? Thanks very much. Bye bye for now.